Guess what is the duration of the longest traffic jam in the world? It is hard to believe, but the longest traffic jam ever recorded lasted for 8 years. From 1967 to 1975. Back in the 1960s, Egypt didn't exactly get along very well with the neighbor Israel. Tensions between the two countries had been rising frequently and both sides were preparing themselves for war. The longest traffic jam happened when the Egypt-Israel War broke in 1967, and Israel captured the Sinai Peninsula. Due to this, the Suez Canal literally became the border between Egypt and Israel. In this atmosphere of uncertainty, on the morning of June 5, 1967, 15 cargo ships entered the Suez Canal on the Mediterranean side to begin their 12-hour journey across to the other side in the Red Sea. Unknown to any of them at the time though was that their journey, originally 12 hours long, would take almost 8 years. This was the worst traffic jam ever. Roughly halfway through their journey across the canal, war suddenly exploded. The Israelis launched a surprise air attack against the Egyptians. The area around the canal was suddenly full of planes, bombs, fire, and death. And in order to stop the encroachment of Israeli forces, Egypt jammed the canal by blasting the ships at the northern and the southern end. Within hours of the attack, the Egyptian government ordered the Suez Canal to be closed and forced the 15 ships inside to halt until further notice. During those 8 years, the world was suffered a great loss due to this jam. The passage from the Suez Canal was vitally important in reducing the journey of the cargo ships going from Europe to Asia. Until the canal was blocked, the cargo ships had to circle the entire African continent, which thereby increased the prices of goods all over Asia. The canal remained jammed for years until 1973. The war broke again. This time Egypt was the one which started with a surprise attack on Israel. In response, Israel countered the attack. Finally, the war came to an end and both nations agreed to cease fire. Due to external pressure from prominent nations across the world, Egypt agreed to reopen the Suez Canal. After 6 long years of conflict and standstill, the Suez Canal was a stagnant puddle full of sunken ships, equipment, artillery, and mines. It took Egypt about 2 years to clear the debris from the canal. Eventually, on June 5, 1975, the canal was reopened. 8 years to the day after they first entered the canal, the day finally came for the Yellow Fleet to say goodbye to the canal once and for all. So, the longest jam in history was not of cars but of ships. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.